All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Kleppers Corner. Today in history. Now, normally when people talk about history, they pick a year, a decade, maybe a whole century, but not us. We're doing one single date, September 21st. And let me tell you, this date is stacked. It's like the Costco sampler platter of history. Revolutions, hurricanes, hobbits, Jacobites, and even Sandra Day O'Connor. Basically, September 21st is the overachiever of the calendar, showing up like, yeah, I'll take French revolutions at noon, a Scottish rebellion by dinner, and, oh, just casually reinvent fantasy literature for dessert. So buckle up. We're diving into the past. And yes, I will make fun of the French, the British, and maybe even hobbits because someone has to. Segment 1, the French First Republic, when France finally said, you know what, we're good without the king. September 21st, 1792. France finally abolishes its monarchy and declares itself a republic. This wasn't just, let's try democracy for a week. No, this was France going full send. Like when your friend swears off carbs and suddenly buys a Peloton and a juicer. Before this, people actually thought Louis XVI might still work as a constitutional king. Then he tried to sneak out of town in a carriage during the flight to Varennes. Big mistake. Nothing says trust me to lead like dressing up as peasants and getting caught at the medieval equivalent of TSA. Then came the storming of the Tuileries in August. The king's guards were massacred, Louis got arrested, and suddenly monarchy was out like MySpace. So on September 21st, the National Convention just said, that's it. No more king, republic it is. And to prove they were serious, they invented a new calendar. That's right. They didn't just fire the king, they fired time. They declared September 22nd, year one. Imagine trying to explain that to your boss. Sorry I missed work, but yesterday was year -1, so technically today doesn't exist. France wasn't just done with Louis, they were done with the entire concept of monarchy. Kings weren't just out of power, they were monsters, which, given the wigs, the incest, and the hunting trips, is honestly not that unfair. Segment 2, Independence Days, Malta, Belize, and Armenia. Fast forward to the 20th century, and September 21st becomes Independence Palooza. Malta in 1964, Belize in 1981, and Armenia in 1991. 3 countries, 3 different vibes. Malta got its independence through negotiation, which sounds boring until you realize they were fighting over the Catholic Church's role in the Constitution. Yes, the Maltese basically said, we want independence, but can we still keep our saints on speed dial? The Brits handed them a constitution plus a 10-year economic aid package, which is the colonial version of, here's some money, don't call us. Belize's story is even messier. They wanted independence way earlier, but Guatemala was like, that land's mine. It was like declaring your house your own, but your neighbor shows up saying, actually, this is still my backyard. So Britain left, but not really. They parked 1,500 troops there to babysit until Belize could walk home alone. And then Armenia in 1991. The Soviet Union is crumbling. Gorbachev just survived a coup attempt, and Armenia says, cool, while you're distracted, we're out. They hold a referendum, and 99.5% vote yes, which makes me suspicious, because even in small towns, you can't get 99.5% of people to agree on pizza toppings. But Armenia was done. The USSR was like Blockbuster, and Armenia was the kid who finally said, you know what? Netflix seems like the future. Segment 3, the Battle of Preston Pans. 15 minutes of fame, literally. September 21st, 1745. Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Jacobites go head-to-head with the British at Preston Pans. The British thought they had the perfect position. Marsh in front, cannons, cavalry, basically a fortnight base with extra tea. Then a farmer's kid was like, hey, there's a secret path. The Jacobites took it, snuck around, and boom, 15 minutes later, they won. 15 minutes. That's shorter than an Olive Garden wait time. The British cavalry saw the Highland charge, screamed, and ran, which is not the most dignified military maneuver. Cope, the British general, literally wrote in his report, I can't reproach myself. The panic was just too fast. Translation? It's not me, it's them. This battle turned a ragtag rebellion into a serious threat. France even started considering sending aid. It's proof that sometimes all you need is one teenager with good directions to change history. Basically, the Jacobites won because of medieval Google Maps. Segment 4, hurricanes and earthquakes. Nature's hold my beer moments. September 21st doesn't just do politics. It also does natural disasters. In 1938, New England got slammed by a hurricane so fast they called it the Long Island Express. Winds of 120 miles per hour. A storm surge that drowned Providence, Rhode Island, and 2 billion trees gone. 2 billion. Imagine trying to rake that yard. The storm killed around 700 people and caused damage equal to $41 billion today. But back then, weather forecasting was so bad that people thought it was just a breezy day until their barn flew away. Then in 1999, Taiwan got hit by the Chi-Chi earthquake, a 7.7 magnitude quake that killed over 2,400 and left 100,000 homeless. And here's the kicker. They found some collapsed buildings had been built with pillars stuffed with plastic bottles and newspaper. That's not construction, that's paper mache. The silver lining? Taiwan rebuilt better, set up new disaster response systems, and now they hold annual nationwide earthquake drills. America can't even get people to silence their phones at the movies. Taiwan gets everyone to practice earthquake safety at the same time. That's impressive. Segment 5, The Hobbit, O'Connor, and America's first daily paper. September 21st isn't done yet. It's also the date when big cultural shifts happened. In 1784, America got its first daily newspaper, the Pennsylvania Packet. Before that, people had to wait days for news. Imagine waiting until Thursday to hear about Monday Night Football. Then in 1937, J.R.R. Tolkien published The Hobbit. It starts with, "In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit," which is either the beginning of great literature or the world's saddest Zillow listing. This book didn't just launch Middle-earth, it basically created the fantasy genre as we know it. Without The Hobbit, there's no Lord of the Rings, no Game of Thrones, and probably no Comic-Con, which might actually solve San Diego's hotel crisis, but still. And in 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor became the first woman confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Confirmed 99 to controls. Imagine that today. You can't even get 99 senators to agree the sky is blue. O'Connor went on to become the court's swing vote, which means she had more power than your mom deciding where to eat dinner. So, September 21st, a date that fired kings, birthed nations, wrecked armies, drowned cities, shook the earth, gave us hobbits, and finally led a woman onto the Supreme Court. Honestly, this day has done more work than Congress in a decade. History isn't just a string of random events. It's a reminder that any day could be the day something changes forever. And September 21st has receipts. So the next time someone asks why history matters, just tell them. Because on September 21st, everything can happen. Revolutions, hurricanes, hobbits, and even hope.